I don't know who this is now.
No, I haven't tried either with my aunt. I don't know who's saying that. Having her go back to the car.
Our first senior this afternoon is Dolphus.
We'd have some, yeah. Thank you. I said, I'll go back and get it.
Can't play in 16 games as a freshman to make it to this
How's your
part.
play the game? Is this extra?
I don't know who's saying.
Hi, guys. Is this yours? No. We've been here a while and it's been sitting.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't want to get seats.
Can't handle the tournament until the season.
Yeah, that's just like
Important part.
it's from the other two. I think it is.
She's at senior in 78 first game.
Good, how are you guys?
Oh, that's good. Steve's going to block the wind.
Starting 12.
Mommy? Oh,
She's
okay.
an exercise science pre-fifth.
We were in Mommy too. Yeah, we were like,
Bitcoin average of
Mommy
3.586.
Oh, okay.
She is joined by her parents, Michelle Walsh, her grandmother Sue Dolphus, her brother Kyle and Brian, her sister Nikki, and her cousin Larry Miller.
Oh, how was that?
Fort Wayne, Indiana, ladies and gentlemen, senior
It's their senior day.
Dolphus.
It was really fun. We had a great day. Yeah.
The weather yesterday was decent.
Our next senior is Kathleen Dooley.
Do I put one more coat? I'll go get it. No, I'm fine. Okay. Well,
Kathleen
it's an hour
is
away
already
from
starting
home.
goalkeeper job midway through her freshman season, making a total of 11 starts. She was
Oh, I
limited
thought
to
it
just
was
3 games as a
I left
sophomore
it
due to injury, but started every match last
Because
season
remember,
as a
I
junior in the
thought
All-American
it
team.
fell right down.
She also earned all-region
It fell right down here.
All-Ohio, Academic All-Ohio, Academic All-Big team. She started all 22 games last season and made a total of 81 saves. That total does not include arguably the biggest save in BGSU women's soccer history, a diving stop of the penalty kick in the National Tournament Championship match right here at Conference Stadium. Walsh scored on that shot. Carter would have won the National Tournament title. Instead, dazzling Jimmy's saving dive kept Easton's hope alive, and moments later, the Falcons were celebrating the MAC tournament title and NCAA tournament tour of their own. Kathleen's ranked among the top 5 goalkeepers in the history of the BGSU career list, and the second in program history of career goals against average and winning percentage. In the classroom, she's a biology major with minors in chemistry, public health, and a cumulative GPA of 3.86. Following graduation, she planned to pursue a professional career in soccer before attending elementary school. She's joined on field champion by her parents, John and Kelly Dooley, her sister Stephanie, her grandmother Gina Dooley, and grandparents Bob and Barb Cochran. She's a native of Sylvania, Ohio. Ladies and gentlemen, senior Kathleen Dooley.
Hey, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Healthy. How are you guys?
Good, how you doing?
No.
Stay dry today.
Yeah.
Up next, we have Monica Flores.
Actually, sorry. I
There's
thought
7 seniors.
Yeah.
Graduating.
Monica is a member of both the Columbia National Soccer Team and the Bogota Soccer Team. Monica did not see regular season action during her first 2 seasons in the Orange Brown, but she made her collegiate debut last season and combined with fellow Falcon goalkeepers Kathleen Dooley and Victoria Cope on a shutout. She's also combined on a clean sheet for an exhibition match in Oakland to begin the 2019 season. In the classroom, she's a biology major with a minor in chemistry, and she holds a cumulative GPA of 3.935. She was recently admitted to medical school at Oregon College of Oriental Medicine. She's accompanied on the field today by the parents of Hannah Dolphus, Kyle, Craig, and Michelle Dolphus, Kyle and Nikki Dolphus, as well as Hannah's cousin Larry Miller. She's also being accompanied by Hannah Dolphus and teammate Kristen Light. She's a native of British Bogota, Columbia. Ladies and gentlemen, Monica Flores. Our next senior is Maureen Kennedy.
Wake up in the room, I love it when it's scary.
record with 10 assists as a sophomore. Last year, she again had 10 assists along with 5 goals and was named to the All-MAC, All-Region, and Academic All-District First Team, among many other awards. After being named the MAC's Defensive Player of the Week 3 times in a 5-week span during conference play, she was named the MAC Defensive Player of the Year. She was also named BGSU's Female Junior Scholar Athlete of the Year and honor award to just one female in the entire athletic department. This year, she was ranked the top drawer soccer preseason list of the top 100 players in the nation, and earlier this week, she was one of just 30 players across the country to be named a finalist for the Senior Class Award. She is currently tied for 9th in school history in career points with 49, and her total of 25 career assists ties her for second on the BGSU chart. Green is a psychology major with minors in biology and gerontology, and she holds a 3.954 cumulative GPA. She plans to attend graduate school in occupational therapy upon completion of her undergraduate career. She's joined on the field today by her parents, Michael and Jenny Kennedy, as well as her sister Katie. She's a native of Cypress, California. Ladies and gentlemen, senior Marie Kennedy. Next up, we have Rachel Mueller. Rachel played in 18 matches as a freshman in 2016 with over 1,000 minutes of action. She scored her first collegiate goal that fall and proved to be the game winner in a MAC victory over Northern Illinois. Rachel missed the entire 2017 season due to injury, but returned to action last season, seeing action in 8 matches and scored a goal in last year's senior day match, a victory over Youngstown State right here at Cochran Stadium. She was injured in this year's the season opening match in Kentucky, but has seen action in 27 career matches, making 12 starts as a Falcon in the classroom. Rachel is an exercise science major with a 3.8 cumulative GPA. She plans to attend graduate school for occupational therapy, specializing in brain trauma patients. She's joined on the field this afternoon by her parents, Joel and Chris Stoller, her brother Brett, her cousin Allie Hogan, friend Sophia Martinez and David Lincoln, and the family dogs Noah and Bell. A native of Castle Rock, Colorado, ladies and gentlemen, senior Rachel Mueller.
Yeah, little tiny ones. You can see it. You can look your girl.
Up next is Kristen Tobias.
Yeah.
Kristen played in 18 matches in each of her first 2 seasons with the Falcons after spending 1 year at the University of Northwestern Ohio.
Senior dogs
She
today.
had 3 assists in her first year with the Browns and Orange. Last year, she saw action in each of the first 8 matches of the season before suffering an injury and missing BGSU's Final Four contest. She was named to the Anthem All-MAC team in MAC regular season tournament champions. This season, she's played in all 8 matches, making 5 starts and had the primary assist from BG's first goal at Michigan State. In the classroom, Kristen majors in digital arts with a minor in entrepreneurship, and she holds a cumulative GPA of 3.55. She plans to return to Europe following graduation. She's joined on the field this afternoon by her father, Olaf. She's a native of Oslo, Norway. Ladies and gentlemen, senior Kristen Tobias. And finally, last but not least, it's senior Chelsea Washington. Chelsea started in nearly every match as a freshman and then played in every match off the bench as a sophomore. She had 13 points in those first 2 seasons before exploding into one of the most dangerous players in the MAC last fall. She was named to the All-MAC and All-Region First Team, and among a veritable plethora of Audra honors and awards, she was named the National Player of the Week by the United Soccer Coaches in late September. She had BG leading 4-game winning game goals. She had an incredible 5-game stretch in which she scored the first goal of the game 4 times. She ended the season with 27 points on 9 goals and 9 assists, ranking second on the team and in the MAC in both goals and points. With 5 more points this season to date, she now has a career total of 14 goals, 17 assists, and 45 points. She is tied for 7th on the career assist list and ranked among the top 15 in school history on both of the other 2 charts. And with 6th career game-winning goal. She's 7th in BGSU history on that list as well. In the classroom, she's triple justice major with a minor in sociology. She holds a 3.63 cumulative GPA. She's joined today by her mother, Carolyn Washington, her sister, Ricky, her niece, Presley Joyner, her brother, Chaz Washington, and Sarah Dye, her aunts, Mary McDaniel, Bonnie Singer, Amy Brown, and her cousin, Morgan Brown. She's a native of Carrollton, Texas. Ladies and gentlemen, it's senior Chelsea Washington. Falcons in the 4 years before 67 players arrived at BG for their freshman year. The Falcons won a total of 12 games. In 2016, their freshman year, the Falcons won 8 games, Permian's highest total in nearly a decade. Kristen Dwight joined the Permian in 2017, and the Falcons won 13 games and advanced all the way to the championship game of that tournament. And last year, of course, BG tied the school record with 14 wins, and the Falcons won both that regular season and tournament titles for the NCAA tournament. In the classroom, these 7 individuals have been just as successful as you heard, you just heard, and all 7 student-athletes have a cumulative GPA of 3.5 or higher, 4 of them maintaining a GPA of a 3.75 or higher. Clearly, whenever their play days are completed here at BGSU, these 7 ladies are here we are, Falcon fans. Let's have one final round of applause for your 2019 Bowling Green State University Women's Soccer Senior Class.
You ready? And welcome out here to Cochran Stadium here in Bowling Green, Ohio. Senior Day festivities just concluding as we're just about to get set underway between the University of Buffalo Bulls and your Bowling Green State University Falcons. Chip Crennan, Brandon Lowe bringing you all the action for today's game. Brandon, let's take a look at the Bowling Green's last game at Akron, or here against Akron.
Yeah, last game against Akron, the weather was sort of a downer all game long here, rain for most of the night, but BG was able to battle through the weather and conditions, and they came away with a 1-0 win over the Akron Zips in the first game of conference play. And really the story was the 3 sophomores combining for a beautiful play. Mackenzie Ruber crossing in a ball off the edge, finding the head of Sarah Allen, and then Lindsay Spots gets her first career collegiate goal off the head of Sarah Allen. So beautiful play by the 3 sophomores, and it led BG to a 1-0 victory over the Akron Zips.
Yes, and today Buffalo's coming in off a 2-0 victory over Toledo on Friday. What can you expect from Buffalo?
Both teams are going to have a little bit of momentum coming into this game. Buffalo coming off a win against Toledo. So both teams 1-0 in conference play, which is huge because this is what it comes down to at the end of the season is conference record, and everyone wants to get a high seed in the tournament, hopefully get some home field advantage. But today, Senior Day at Bowling Green, the Falcons are going to have a lot of momentum coming off the win the other night, and Senior Day being today, the players are going to be really motivated. So Bowling Green could be very dangerous during this ball game.
Yeah, someone to watch out for on Buffalo's side is Marcy Barbaric. Leads the team with 3 goals and 7 points. Also leads them in shots taken with 19 and shots on goal with 11. More than 11 of the 46 shots on goal for Buffalo have come from Marcy Barbaric. Includes one game-winning goal and is 2 for 2 on PKs. So Buffalo as total is 3 for 3 on PKs, so something to watch out for. Falcons can't commit a foul in the box.
Absolutely, and one of the things that I looked at in the stat sheet before the game was when Buffalo does take shots, they're taking high percentage shots. A lot of their shots are on goal, so that could be very dangerous if Buffalo can find some space and start putting shots on goal.
And then something that the Buffalo Bulls will try to limit is Chelsea Washington's space in the middle. Of course, you've seen what she can do against any team. Is if you give her space in the middle, she's going to tear it apart, and she's going to get a goal for the Falcons.
Very evasive playmaker. She's just able to do it all. And I think, again, back to the Senior Day thing, I think that motivates Chelsea Washington, and I think she scores here today. We'll see.
Yeah, looking at last year's match between Buffalo and BG, Bowling Green, I wouldn't say demolished, but they really did bring it to Buffalo 5-0 at Buffalo. That was, of course, coming after a loss to Akron, the only MAC loss last year for the Falcons. And we'll get into some starting lineups here. Anything else to add before we announce those lineups, Brandon?
You just mentioned last year BG beat Buffalo, and BG actually has 3 straight victories versus Buffalo. So we'll see what happens here today in 2019.
Yeah, and with that, let's look at the starting lineups first for Buffalo. Go ahead, Brandon.
First, you have the goalkeeper, Emily Kelly. Second, you have number 2, Adriana Van Kuyk. Number 4, Caitlin Walsh. Number 5, Georgina Jandu. Number 10, Kara Daly. Number 11, Marcy Barbaric. Number 12, Catherine Camper. Number 13, Abby Callahan. Number 16, Carly Zocali. Number 20, Hannah Callaghan. And number 22, Tess Ford.
And Buffalo coming in, like we mentioned, 1-0 in conference play, 4-3-1 overall. And now looking at your Bowling Green Falcons coming in with a 1-0 record, 3 in conference, 3-4-2 record overall. And they're led out by senior goalkeeper number 33, Kathleen Duvey. On defense for the Falcons, you're led by also senior Maureen Kennedy, freshman Audrey Shea, and number 27, Alexis Miller, will slide back into the defensive role. In the midfield for the Falcons today, you're led by senior Chelsea Washington, senior Hannah Dolphus wears the number 28, number 20, Mackenzie Ruber, and Sophia Barnes wears the number 19. And then up top, you have Kenny White, joined by the Cox sisters, Nikki and Katie Cox. Any predictions for today's game?
You know what I want to see? I want to see a Falcons victory, but we'll see what happens here. Very excited, second day of MAC play. And like I said, conference play is ever so important.
Yeah, of course, Falcons last year in conference play, I believe they went 9-1 or 10-1. I can't recall their exact record, but they had one loss and every other game was a win. Falcons hosted the MAC tournament last year, hoping to repeat that. Starts now. You can't look back at Friday's game, even though you won. You want to look back, but you got to move on, and you got to focus on these 90 minutes against Buffalo.
And I mean, we talk about this every game, but I really think it's all about capitalizing opportunities here. The other night, BG, many more corner kicks than Akron, and I think Bowling Green has just been so good at that. Maureen Kennedy has just gotten so consistent with her corner kicks, and I mean, that's an opportunity you have to take to score, and the more opportunities you get, the better chance you're going to have to win the game.
Yeah, and with that, we'll step aside for the national anthem. After the national anthem, we'll bring you first her kickoff right here at Cochran Stadium in Bowling Green, Ohio. Here's the national anthem.
Those who are serving and those who will be serving in our armed forces with the singing of our national anthem by BGSU student group 1040.
Welcome back out here, Bowling Green, Ohio. Campus of Bowling Green State University, as the Bowling Green Falcons are set to host the Buffalo Bulls. Chip Crennan, Brandon Lowe bringing you all the action. Kickoff just about to start. Falcons, it looks like we'll be going left to right across. Well, there's no radio, so I'm used to doing the radio. So Falcons will, I'm not sure who has the kickoff yet. We'll get that to you shortly. Referees for today's game, Michael Alley, assisted by Noah Hartman, Danielle Wolf, and the alternate official, Aaron Wolf. Looking, Falcons not start in the starting lineup. Seniors not in the starting lineup. You look at Tveit, key factor off the bench for the Falcons this year. Also, just the bench in general for the Falcons, like you mentioned last game against Akron, all the goal and both assists for the Falcons were all sophomores, but they also all came off the bench. And it shows the depth of this Bowling Green team.
Yeah, and I mean, I think that's one thing when you have the depth that Bowling Green has, and you can bring in your bench players and have no drop in play, and you can keep up the same level of play. I think that's huge.
Yes, and Bowling Green will be going. Oh, I keep thinking it's radio. But again, if Bowling Green does win the prior 4 Bowling Green athletic events this past weekend, that would be Bowling Green women's soccer against Akron, men's soccer against Canisius, and then the women's volleyball team also won both their matches. So if Bowling Green women's soccer can pull off the victory, it's a clean sweep for Bowling Green athletics this weekend.
Yeah, and you got the chance to travel for the volleyball games. Why don't you tell us about volleyball?
Yeah, so volleyball, interesting game Friday night against Ohio. Bowling Green fell down 2-0 in sets, and then they won 3-2. They won the last 3 sets, and then they swept Kent State last night.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
we'll see what we can do here. Let's see if we can get the sweep this weekend for the Falcons.
It looks like Buffalo will be kicking off as Bowling Green is already out on the field. Buffalo still in their huddle. Again, setting it for the Falcons. You have Duvey in goal with Shea, Kennedy, and it looks like Ruber will be going up the near side wing with Washington and Miller in the back end. On the far side, I believe that's Sophie Barnes with the Cox sisters, Dolphus, and White surrounding the half circle. And Buffalo will have kickoff. And they're led out by Marcy Barbaric wearing the captain sleeve on her arm. The star forward for the Buffalo Bulls. Again, leads the team with 3 goals. While Bowling Green's goals leader is Nikki Cox with 3. He also does lead the team with points with 9. And we're underway here at Cochran Stadium. Buffalo's going to get some possession here. As Kennedy White and I believe that's Nikki Cox applying some pressure. Buffalo's going to force it all the way back to their near side corner. And possession, Ruber's going to create the turnover. Finds, I believe that's Alexis Miller in the back. Going to find Kennedy in the center back position today. Washington's going to, a nice one-touch pass there to Audrey Shea. And Shea's going to end up with it back after a few miscues there by the Bulls. Ruber's going to try to get around. I believe that was number 4 in Caitlin Walsh for Buffalo. And Buffalo's going to go on the counterattack here. On the far side. And they get it on the line of the 18. Good pressure there by Alexis Miller to force a Buffalo throw-in to be taken by number 10, Kara Daly. 43:56 left in the first half. And this ball's crossed in right to Chelsea Washington, who's heading into the midfield with space. And like we mentioned, you don't want to give her space. Kennedy White's looking right at her, going for a run. Nikki Cox going to try to find Kennedy White off of a bull. And it's going to be picked up by the goalie in Emily Kelly. Falcons really doing a good job of applying pressure so far, forcing the pass by the Bulls. Audrey Shea is going to head it right to a Buffalo player, but the Buffalo player is going to mishandle it, and it'll be a Falcon throw-in. Ruber to take it. Finds Hannah Dolphus. That'll be a Falcon throw-in as Dolphus and Caitlin Walsh for Buffalo kind of jousted for it. And they're going to try to look to, I believe that was Barbaric in the center. And Miller's going to drop it back to Duvey, who's going to look to get this ball up to Barnes on the far side. And they're going to reset, maintain possession here of the Falcons. Barnes gets around a defender, finds Washington in the middle. Ruber's got no one on her on the near side. If they can find a way to get the ball to her, and it'll be kicked out of play by Buffalo on the far side. Throw in for Bowling Green. I'm going all over sports here. Volleyball, basketball. He's not even in season yet.
It's okay. You're sharing the love.
Yeah. And this throw-in is going to be taken by the Falcons. And they're going to maintain possession here. Sophie Barnes going to cut inside. And it's going to be off of a bowl for another Falcon throw-in. As they're going to find Nikki Cox in the middle. Cox tries to find Washington and can't get it. And it'll be a 1-on-3 for Buffalo. That one is Marcy Barbaric. And it's going to turn into a 3-on-1 or a 3-on-5. Washington deflects the ball out of play for a Buffalo throw-in. Buffalo taking their time, trying to find the open possession. And Buffalo won't get to it. Falcon throw-in deep in their own territory. Sophie Barnes to take it. Finds Nikki Cox, trying to find her sister, Katie. Kennedy White hanging in the circle at the top for the Falcons. And that ball will go out of play for a Buffalo throw-in. Buffalo trying to find the open person, look for possession. They're going to try to get this up to Barbaric. Barbaric turned it over, and Kennedy's going to come out of the pile with it. Finds Audrey Shea in the middle. Shea to Washington, right back to Ruber on the near side. Ruber's going to run into a couple Buffalo defenders, have to pull back and find Kennedy on the far side. Kennedy's going to look up to Sophie Barnes on a run. Sophie Barnes going to keep this ball from going out. Cuts inside. And the Falcons have numbers here, as that's going to be, I believe that's one of the, I believe that may have been Hannah Dolphus. Or that was Katie Cox, my bad, with the shot on goal for the Falcons.
Good job by the back line there from Bowling Green to try and let something develop, and ended up in a shot on goal.
Kennedy's going to get it possession back for the Falcons. Washington's going to get pressured in the midfield, as like we mentioned pregame. Buffalo can't let her get some space, and Shea's going to launch this ball up to Kennedy White, who can't get it. Dolphus right back to White, who's going to try to find Katie Cox to Nikki Cox. Nikki Cox is going to look back to Sophie Barnes, who may cross this in, and she will deflect it out of danger by Buffalo, but Chelsea, it's going to end up on Washington's foot. Washington to Ruber. Ruber's going to look inside the box. Shot. Save by Kelly. The first shot on goal, officially, the first shot on goal for either side. Falcons get that with 38:55 left in the first half. It's going to be turned over. Sophie Barnes finds Katie Cox. Barnes going for the run, and she's going to be onside. Barnes' cross is blocked. It'll be a throw-in for the Falcons. Falcons really dominating possession here. Not a lot of play for Buffalo in the Falcon half.
Initially, I thought Buffalo was going to come out. They showed it in the first couple minutes that they might be able to control possession of the game, but Bowling Green has really adapted to what they saw in the opening 2 or 3 minutes, and now we're seeing a lot of play at the Bowling Green offensive end.
Bowling Green's going to get it. Sophie Barnes back to, believe that's one of the Coxes on the far side. It'll be a Falcon throw-in. Barnes to take it. Nice turn there by Nikki Cox. And will turn it over, but gets it right back. Cox going to cross this ball in. Blocked again by the Bulls. Barnes now on one-on-one on the outside. And falls down, slips in the grass, a little wet here. It was raining yesterday. And Buffalo's going to try to go, and they may have an opportunity here on a miscue by Kennedy, but Miller and Shea there to recover. Kennedy's going to take this ball up past midfield and look to White. White to Dolphus. Dolphus it was Nikki Cox making a run, but Buffalo's going to clear it out of danger. Shea with a poor touch, and it's going to be Barbaric on the opportunity. Washington with a good play in the midfield to create the turnover. Ruber to Dolphus. White's calling for it, and White's going to get it. Into the box is Nikki Cox looking for the ball. White's going to cross this in a little too far. Right to Katie Cox. Cox looking for her sister. And Nikki's save. Rebound. Score! Off. And we're going to get the clock stopped. Head referee talking to the side judge or the sideline referee about an offside possibility. So right now, if the goal is to stand, and they're going to rule offsides, is the call. So no goal. It would have been Katie Cox from Nikki Cox. It'll be a free kick it'll pretty much be a goal kick for the Bulls.
Interesting deliberation there.
As we'll get a look at the replay. Is it already passed? So Falcons still applying some pressure here and will force pressure and force a pass, but it'll be received by Buffalo anyways. Buffalo to maintain some possession in their own end. White, the lone forward up for the Falcons right now. I believe that's Jandu with the ball in the center back position. And a good try there by Barbaric to find Walsh, who was streaking down the line for the Bulls. Falcons get the turnover. Washington to Kennedy. And Kennedy's going to look to get this ball up, try to find White or Ruber, but it'll go out of play. It'll be a Buffalo throw-in. Buffalo's going to get this ball up, and Duvey's going to call everyone off and get it outside to Shea. Shea's going to look up to Nikki Cox. Nikki Cox tried to find Dolphus, but resets to Washington in the back. And Kennedy's going to end up with it. Kennedy back on that far side, on that left side. Her usual spot with Miller now dropping back in the center for the Falcons. And Falcons are going to try to find Washington, and Washington's gone streaking, and she's got speed, she's got time, and she's going to look right over to White, who's fouled hard, and it'll be a golden opportunity here of coming for the Falcons. Looks like Maureen Kennedy's going to come and take it. And this is pretty much right outside the 18. As the referee to take 3 steps and then stepped inside the 18. So it's about a 21-yard to goal for the Falcons.
Let's see what the Falcons can do here.
You've looks like a four-woman wall for the Bulls. Washington's going to fake take it. Kennedy's going to take it off of it. Bull and in! Maureen Kennedy with the goal. As we're going to get a replay here shortly. Kennedy will get the goal unassisted on the, I believe it on the free kick. I wasn't sure if it was direct or indirect, but it wouldn't have mattered. It was deflected off of a Bull and into the top right corner of the net.
Beautiful look there for the senior, and we got a 1-0 lead for Bowling Green here on Senior Day.
Yeah, the goalie for Buffalo in Emily Kelly got her hand on it, but it was just a little too late. Her hand went off the hand and into the goal.
So again, the opportunity's sitting there for BG. They get a really good opportunity, and they capitalize, and they get their first goal of the game.
And Falcons have now scored, I believe it's a lot of unanswered goals here. It's 6 straight goals at least for the Falcons against the Bulls. And you called it. Didn't you say Maureen Kennedy would get a goal?
I said 3 people before this game, and that was one of them.
Normally, Maureen Kennedy known for dishing the ball off as Maureen the assist machine Kennedy. And Washington's going to create the turnover. And it'll be a throw in for the Falcons. And Washington's going to find Shea and gets it to Kennedy as the Bowling Green bench warming their legs up.
It finally feels like fall here in Bowling Green, Ohio.
It's Ohio weather, so I wouldn't. I'm still getting used to Ohio weather after 2.5 years being here. And Kennedy's going to look to Barnes on the outside, chests it down. Barnes is going to cut in and has some space. Going to cut back and find Dolphus, but good play there by Buffalo to intercept the pass. Force the Falcons to play it all the way back to Duvie. Again, if you're just tuning in, Chip Crennan and Brennan Lowe bringing you all the Bowling Green women's soccer coverage brought to you by WBGU-TV. And Buffalo had a little bit of possession there, but Bowling Green takes it right back. Kennedy White now seeing some action, checking back in and out instead of just playing up top. Washington's got space in the midfield. Ruber's streaking on the near side. Kennedy White also streaking on the far side. Buffalo's going to get this to their goalie and pick it up and throw it quickly to, I believe that's number 26 or 22, Tess Ford for Buffalo. And good play there by Maureen Kennedy to kick the ball out of bounds, but deflect it off of a bowl. Falcon throwing. Yeah, Mike Sehan, the SID for the Bowling Green Women's Soccer, helping us out here. Big shout out though to him for all the stuff that he does for us, all the game notes that he provides. As Chelsea Washington with the ball, he's gonna find Audrey Shea. Audrey Shea's gotta not get to this in time, so it'll be a Buffalo free throw-in and be taken by Caitlin Walsh. And Buffalo's got an opportunity here, but it turned right to Alexis Miller. Miller's going to turn it around and find Shea, who's got pressure on her back, so she's going to look right up to Nikki Cox. Nikki Cox. And it'll be Shea right back to Nikki Cox to Mackenzie Ruber. Finds Nikki Cox back, try to find that give and go. Buffalo Bull on Cox's back, but finds Ruber, can't save it. It'll be a Buffalo Bull throw-in. Anytime I say Buffalo Bull, I want to say Buffalo Bills. I don't know why. I'm not a big football fan either, but that'll be a throw-in for Buffalo as it bounced off Alexis Miller's foot. Buffalo's starting to show a little pressure here on the Falcons. And a little too far there on the touch pass by Barbaric, and Bowling Green will get possession back in their hands. Ruber's got space in the midfield now, created by a nice little pick there by Cox. Tried to find Katie Cox, but can't. Alexis Miller with some decent defensive play there for the Falcons. Cox to Ruber. Ruber's going to go all the way back to Duvie. Or Shea. Looked like it was going to go to Duvie. Now it will go to Duvie. Duvie back to Shea. Falcons holding their formation. Shea's going to get this ball up to White, who's going to get bumped there by Jandu. Good play there, and Washington's going to fall down, pick it right back up. Free kick, Falcons. Gets it quickly over to Barnes on the far side. Decent attendance so far for the Falcons. I'd say close to 250 people. As on the far side, Sophie Barnes one-on-one. Cuts in, cuts out, falls down. Play on, says the referee. 3-on-5. 4-on-5 now for Buffalo. And they've got space. Turns into kind of like a 2-on-1 here. In the box is Buffalo. Good defensive play there by Audrey Shea to clear the ball out. She's going to take this onto the near side, or the far side. I believe that's Nikki Cox to Katie Cox. Playing more in the midfield slot today is Katie Cox. And Ruber's got space on the near side. White's calling for it. White's going for a run. Ruber's going to put the shot kind of on net. Tried to find Nikki Cox. But the Buffalo goalie, aware of that, Emily Kelly, picks it up.
A little bit of wind out there, maybe playing with the ball a little bit in the air.
Decent wind blowing from east to west here at Cochran Stadium. Punts up, and it's going to hit the ground, and it'll be headed by Buffalo, and it's going to end up on Duvie's foot. Can't pick it up, though, as it was passed back to her. Duvey's just going to put this ball up for Barnes. Barnes is going to have to get to this. She will. Barnes and Ruber have been open a lot of this game, so Buffalo kind of playing in the midfield. Bowling Green trying to spread it out, and Dolphus has it. Dolphus is going to cross it back into Katie Cox, who's offside. As Dolphus could have opened it up more, found Ruber, instead tried to find Katie Cox, who was offside for the Falcons.
Unfortunate miscue there for Bowling Green, but we're seeing a lot of positives coming early on in this ball game.
And Kelly calling all the Buffalo players kind of set up, move back, expecting a big kick here by Kelly for the Bulls. And it's going to hang, and the wind's kind of really going east to west now. It'll be a Falcon throw-in around midfield. Sophie Barnes to take it, looks at Chelsea Washington, checking in is Nikki Cox. Right back to Barnes. Barnes looks to Kennedy. Kennedy's got pressure, finds Miller in the midfield. Or finds, I believe that was Dolphus in the midfield. Then gets to Miller, then to Duvee. Again, if you're just tuning in, Falcons get the goal off of a free kick by Maureen Kennedy. And Falcons have an opportunity here. Kenny White can't get around the player, and it will be... That looked like a clear push, clear foul for the Falcons. Not called on the Falcons. And Buffalo could have had a free kick, but they get the ball anyways. It's going to be Alexis Miller with space in the midfield. White wanted it, but finds Nikki Cox to Washington. Washington's going to look to Ruber, and a little too far there for Mackenzie Ruber. That wind really, like you mentioned, going east to west, really helped that ball go out of play. Throw in for Buffalo.
That's one thing the other night. We had a north-south wind here, and goal kicks were either really far or about 25 yards.
And Jandu, the senior captain for the Bulls with the ball in their own end, almost turned it over to Nikki Cox. And it'll be stopped there. A good play there by Mackenzie Ruber to prevent Caitlin Walsh from going on a breakaway for the Bulls. Nice one-touch pass there by Washington. Missed touch there by Ruber, though. Ruber's going to have to look to Shea.
Audrey Shea back to Duvee.
And then back to Kennedy on the far side. Kennedy's going to look in the midfield to Washington. And Buffalo's not doing a really good job of shutting down Washington's space in the midfield. And Buffalo will be making a substitution here. And Ruber couldn't find Cox, but it'll be kicked out of danger by Buffalo. Throw in for BG. Cox has time to turn, and she's on her left foot. Cox to White. And Buffalo's going to clear it out right to Sophie Barnes. Barnes going to look all the way back to Alexis Miller. Washington creeping up on the near side, but it'll be kicked in. Buffalo to get it in their goal, Emily Kelly. Given right to Jandu. Jandu's going to look to Walsh. Walsh to Camper. Shea with some good defensive play, making sure first touch on that ball. Turned over there by Dolphus to Buffalo. And now it's going to end up with Jandu for Buffalo. Over to Tess Ford on the far side. And Hannah Callaghan, the Callaghan sisters, Abby Callaghan and Hannah Callaghan, both in the starting lineup for the Bulls. And it's going to be Maureen Kennedy taking the ball up. Finds Sophie Barnes. Barnes right at midfield stops. Didn't like what she saw, and is going to play it back to Alexis Miller. And Shea now with it on the near side. Shea to Ruber. Ruber keeps it from going out of bounds. Ruber is going to be double teamed there. Dolphus tries to come in. Buffalo's going to come out of the 2-2 pile with it. Tried to head it there by Walsh. Back into play, but Bowling Green will come out of the pile with it. Miller to Duvee. Duvee to Kennedy. And Bowling Green, I would say, has 75% of the possession in this game so far. Turned over, though, by Washington. Will be a Buffalo throw-in. Substitution for Buffalo. Kara Daly will check out. And checking in for Buffalo is number 23.
Annie Judas.
Annie Judas, the sophomore defender, seeing her first action this season. And Doovie's going to have the ball in the box, going to look to Kennedy on the far side. Kennedy's going to almost turn this ball over, tried to find Miller. And Shea back to Kennedy. Kennedy, the lone goal in the game so far. Falcons with 3 shots on goal to Buffalo's none. Neither side with a corner kick. Nikki Cox has some space with the ball on her back. Cox is going to let this ball go, and it'll be tipped over the goal. Good save there by Emily Kelly. It'll be a corner kick for the Falcons.
I was almost 2 for 2.
You were. It was you still have Nikki Cox and Chelsea Washington, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Taking the corner will be, it looks like Maureen Kennedy, since it's on her. It'll be a right foot corner kick for Kennedy.
I'm going for the Hattie today.
Hat trick for Kennedy or hat trick in your predictions?
In my picks.
Kicked by Kennedy. It's a good one. Tried to find Kennedy White, and she's going to get called for the foul. Kind of jumped on top of the bowl. And it'll be kicked right. Oh, I thought that ball was kicked out already. It'll be a goal kick for Buffalo.
We're going to get another substitution here for the Bulls coming shortly.
And almost turned over by Cox, and Cox is going to get... Cox is good play there by Cox to force the Bowling Green corner. No foul, though, as she fell down. And another corner kick. This time it's going to be Kennedy again.
So they get another shot at it just mere moments after the last one. So let's see if this one will be on track.
Corner kick, Bowling Green.
And out of danger by Buffalo, but it'll be a foul called in the box on Bowling Green. It's a lot of substitutions coming in for the Falcons. It looks like a plethora. I'd say 4 subs going to be coming in shortly. Buffalo's also going to make a sub. Looks like the Falcons can do a lot of subbing here, get their rotation going. Headed by Dolphus right to Nikki Cox. Nikki Cox is going to let this shot go right to the goalie, though. That's the 5th shot on goal, though, for the Falcons, and we're still only 25 minutes into the game.
We have ticked past the halfway point in this game. BG has controlled.
First half.
Halfway through the first half of this game. Forgot a couple words there. And BG getting ready to show that depth, but they've had a lot of time of possession thus far.
And Buffalo's got an opportunity here inside the box, but it'll be cleared out of play by Sophie Barnes. Throw in for Buffalo. And substitutions, a lot of them. 4 for the Falcons, 3 for the Bulls. And it looks like Allen for White, Tveit for Ruber, Linton for Linton for one of the Falcons, and then I believe
Deiselhoff
will check in as well
for Kennedy White.
For Kennedy,
I believe. No. Linton in for White, and Deiselhoff in for.
Not sure.
We'll figure it out.
Corner kick though for Buffalo. Allen in for White.
Number 2. Yasmin DeSola in the game for number 19. Sophia
Oh, okay.
Barnes
there we go.
checks out for Deiselhoff. And Katie Cox will check out for Linton and Tveit. in for Mackenzie Ruber. Meanwhile, Buffalo corner kick. And that kick's going to be going nowhere. It's going to stay out of bounds, so it'll be a goal kick for the Falcons.
That sub-confusion is what happens when you got 12 players entering and leaving the field.
Yeah. It's 7 players enter. Oh, yeah, so 14 players in total.
14.
I do some mental math there. Falcons find Kennedy on the far side. Kennedy's going to look to looked like Linton, but it's going to go right to Alexis Miller. Alexis Miller been really solid in this back end for the Falcons. Played up top a lot last year. Washington with space in the midfield. Finds Nikki Cox past the Buffalo midfielder. Nikki Cox tries to go around Jandu, but Jandu does a good job of holding the line there. It'll be taken by Dieselhoff, turned over to Leah Wengender, the freshman midfielder out of Rochester, New York for Buffalo. Meanwhile, it's going to be Kennedy taking this up. Find Cox. Jandu pushed up a little too much there, and she'll retreat back to the center back position. Miller with the ball in Falcon territory is going to find Shea. Shea is going to look up, try to find Dolphus, and she will. Dolphus finds Nikki Cox. Nikki Cox one-on-one, finds Washington with space. Washington's going to look on the outside to Dieselhoff, but can't get it. Washington's passing a little shaky so far in this game.
Ups and downs. You'll see it throughout, but Chelsea Washington more consistent than most.
Buffalo's throw-in will be hit off of Sarah Allen for a Buffalo throw-in. And looks like foul called on the Falcons. And it'll be kind of like a deep corner free kick for the Bulls. And that ball's going to sail out of play, or it's going to stay in play for the Falcons get possession. Dieselhoff will look to Kennedy. Kennedy's going to look across the field on the far side and near side for Shea to Washington. Washington's going to try to find Tveit on the near side. Almost kicks it out of bounds. Tveit's going to look all the way back to Shea. Good pressure here by the Bulls in Riley Bowers, the junior out of Clarence Center, New York. Tveit to Shea. Shea back to Duvee. It looks like Bowling Green will make a substitution coming as almost turned over there. It was turned over. Golden opportunity for Buffalo almost, but goes astray. Falcons get it in Duvee to Shea. Shea to Linton. Linton almost tripped on the turf there, or on the grass there. Tveit's going to try to find, believe that was Sarah Allen, but it'll be turned right to Dieselhoff on the far side. Looks like Nikita Jacob will be checking in shortly for the Falcons, and Sarah Allen's going to try to check to this ball. Washington's got it. Going to check back to Miller. Miller's got a ball on her back, but gets it off to Kennedy. He's going to take some time, just look at the field and say, Shea, it's your turn to put the ball. Washington's with space. Washington's going to look to Sarah Allen, but it's going to be Dieselhoff on the run. Can't go. Falcon throwing. And Washington's going to check out of the game for Jacob, and a Buffalo sub's coming as well.
Substitution into the game for the Falcons, number 5, Nikita Jacob. For number 7, Chelsea Washington. Buffalo's holding 19 for 20.
Sarah Allen now with it. Finds some space, gets out of the corner there. Gonna look in the middle to Jacob. Jacob's got some space. Jacob looked to Dolphus. And it's gonna be cleared out of danger by Buffalo. Right to Audrey Shea, though, who's gonna look to get this back in. Sarah Allen calling for it. It's gonna go right to Nikki Cox, though. Buffalo gets the ball back. with some numbers, but it's turned over right to Maureen Kennedy. Kennedy to Shea. Shea's going to look up the field, decides to go back to Alexis Miller in the middle. Tveit wants it. It's going to go to Shea. Tveit on the run, turned over though by Shea. And it's going to be a 2-on. Now 1-on-1 on the outside. Tveit coming back to help. And good play there by Christian Tveit. Alexis Miller turns it over. And Kennedy's going to have to get this out of danger. And Kennedy went down gingerly as it looked like a knee-knee collision. And this is not good for the Falcons if Kennedy has to check out of this game. I'm going to take a look at the replay.
Looked like some hard leg-to-leg contact there. Ooh.
Yeah, it's her right leg getting looked at by the trainer for the Falcons.
They took him to the hospital. Like, that's why the whole walking around in there, he was trying to not.
And Falcons will maybe use this as a time to get some water. Clock stopped at 13:20 in the first half. Kennedy is going to walk off on her own power, though. She does have a little limp to her walk there, but
Like their senior goalie injure, like their mouth, and freshmen come in and get debut.
Falcons really gonna hurt if Kennedy has to miss the rest of the game here. Of course, Kennedy does have the lone goal in the game.
So I think we got 24. Somebody's coming in, obviously. Looks like 24.
It looks like Lena Kovar, the 5'6", freshman defender from Vienna, Austria, will check into the game for Kennedy. And Kovar will come in. And Bowling Green, I'm guessing, kick this ball back. To Buffalo.
Mandarano comes in for Hannah Callahan there as
and
well.
Miller will just kick this ball right to the goalie. The respectful play there by the Falcons. Buffalo get possession in Jandu. Jandu almost loses it to Cox, but Allen's going to block the ball, and it will go stay in play. Headed right by Alexis Miller to Nikki Cox. Nikki Cox tried to find Linton and Will. Linton to Dieselhoff. Back to Linton. Falcons trying to find Tveit on the near side as they're going to work their way over to the near side. Shea. Now to Tveit. Tveit cuts in and loses the ball. And that ball will stay in play. Shea will be the first to get to it. And Shea will drop it back to Duvey. Duvey will try to find Kovar, and she will. Kovar gets to it before it goes out of play. Kovar on her right foot turns it over. Has to recover. Good play there by Dieselhoff to get the ball back for the Falcons. Tveit. Going to look to Jacob in the middle. Jacob came in for Chelsea Washington. Expect her to see a lot more touches on the ball while she's in the game right now. Kovar to Linton to Miller. Back to Kovar. Kovar is going to look across the field on to the far side and near side to Shea. Shea's going to look in the middle but turned over, and Jacobs will be the first to it. Kovar to Dieselhoff. Falcons, most of their possession has been in their own half. They haven't really, I think they're just passing the ball, trying to find this opportunity to get Buffalo tired on the chase.
Another thing, that BG backline's really good at allowing the forwards to make plays happen, waiting for plays to develop, and that's one of the reasons, in my opinion, that BG has the success that they have.
Bowling Green throw in, it's going to end up on Kovar's foot in the defensive end. I would actually have to say Duvey's probably had more touches than the forwards up top. With the ball. Getting the pass back more often. And Bowling Green's going to go on a run here. And it's going to be Sarah Allen. Can't get to it. It's going to deflect off for Buffalo throw-in. Looking at some stats here. Buffalo still no shots on goal. 5 shots on goal for the Falcons. 3 of them are from Nikki Cox. Meanwhile, Dolphus has it to try to find Nikki Cox. Didn't get it. Miller turns it over, but foul called on the Falcons. Alexis Miller. Free kick for Buffalo. The other shots on goal coming from Mackenzie Ruber in the Maureen Kennedy goal. Shea, Miller, Dolphus, Nikki Cox, and Kathleen Duvey, the only Falcons to have played the full game so far. Duvey to Kovar. And Kovar's going to look back to Duvey. Under 10 minutes to go in the first half for the Falcons. Falcons up 1-0 on the Maureen Kennedy set piece goal. And Shea's going to look to short to Dolphus. Back to Duvey. And Buffalo really doing a good job of maintaining shape. Duvey's going to get pressured here. I'd say for the first time they're going to pressure her. And it's going to end up Alexis Moe to Jacob. Jacob going to look to Nikki Cox. Nikki Cox to Alexis Miller. Tries to look to Sarah Allen on the run. Sarah Allen won't get there in time, but the ball was kicked. And Buffalo, Sarah Allen first to it.
Wind keeps that one in bounds there as it gets up in the air.
I would agree with that. Wind really is blowing east to west. It'll be Allen right back to Deiselhoff. Deiselhoff to Cox to Allen. Allen going to look on the right foot. Get this ball in. Shot saved by Kelly, the goalie for Buffalo. Her 5th save of the game. She's really seen some action compared to Duvey in a different way. Duvey's gotten a lot of balls passed back to her. And Bowling Green really trying to pin Buffalo in their own end with 8 minutes to go in the first half.
Bowling Green's done a really good job at peppering Emily Kelly back there in the Buffalo goal.
And it'll be Kovar. And it looks like Spots will be checking in for Nikki Cox shortly. Spots, of course, got the lone goal in the game on Friday. Miller's going to look again to Deiselhoff on the far side. Deiselhoff gets it from going out, saves it from going out, finds Linton. Linton in the midfield tried to find Dolphus. And it went off the referee and out of play. Throw for the Falcons. And it's going to be Spots for Nikki Cox. Taylor Caridi in for Judas for the Bulls. And Spots for Cox for the Falcons. Throw in for the Falcons. Given right to Dolphus. Dolphus back to Deiselhoff. Deiselhoff looks in for Linton. Linton's into the box. Shots blocked right to Sarah Allen. Allen can't get it to go. And saved by the goalie. Not a shot on goal, though, for the Falcons. And it looks like Tori Radetsky will check into the game shortly. Foul on the Falcons. Free kick for Jandu and the Bulls. And that ball's going to stay in play. Buffalo's got an opportunity here to cross this in. They got 2-on-2 on the near side. Good play there by Audra Shea. Turned over. Falcons really converging on the ball here. Back to Duvey. Duvey's going to clear this ball out. Spots is going to try to get to this and almost create the turnover there. And she will. Nothing called as Buffalo player fell down and then Spots fell right on top of her. Bulls looking to go on the attack here. Sarah Allen prevents that. Bulls get it right back. 5:55 left in the first half. Falcons up 1-0. And the shot will be out of play. And that'll be the first shot taken by the Bulls.
Rydeski will come in for Dolphus. And then Mairead Martin will come in for the Bulls. Checking in for Carly Zocali.
Tori Radetsky, the 5'3" freshman from Brighton, Colorado. Sarah Allen with it. Go out of play for a Buffalo throw-in. And Spots now with it in the midfield, trying to get past the Buffalo defenders. There'll be a foul called on Spots. A little too hard there. Buffalo to take it. And there we go, short back in the middle of the Jandu with under 5 minutes to go. Buffalo going to try to maybe piece some things together here, get on the board. And Tveit will try to get back for Shea, who was right there was Tveit, who was covering for Audrey Shea. Miller to Jacob. Jacob's going to get to it, cut it back, and give it right back to Shea. Shea's going to look back to Duvey. I'm guessing Duvey's going to look back to Shea, or she's going to boot this. She's going to try to boot this, it looks like. And Duvey's just probably wasted 15, 20 seconds on the clock there. Turned it over, though. But right to Alexis Miller was Buffalo's kick, and Miller will turn this over on a poor first touch. Bulls and free throw in right at midfield. Go back to Jandu for the Falcons. Falcons not really applying a lot of pressure here. And that ball is going to be put in by Buffalo. And Kovar is going to get it right to Miller. Miller's going to look right to Spots. Spots turns with it. Spots to Allen. Allen. Good diving play there by Jandu to stop the Falcon counterattack. Now Buffalo has a counterattack for their own. A 4-on-6. Stopped there by Alexis Miller. And that'll be a free kick for Buffalo. An opportunity here for Buffalo.
Just under 3 minutes to play here in the first half.
And Jandu to take it. It's going to act like kind of like a corner for Buffalo. One woman wall. Spots is back on the wall. Kicks up. Looks good, and it'll be in the goal. And that's going to be Buffalo's a goal. Jandu to Yurchik, the 5'7" junior from Leola, Pennsylvania, is going to be credited with the goal.
Yeah, on the replay, good job there. Just beautiful, beautiful kick into the center, and Buffalo able to capitalize on an opportunity of their own, and they're going to knot this game up with 2.5 minutes remaining.
Buffalo goal is scored by number 9, Gianna Yurchik. Assists on the play, number 5, Georgina Jeter.
And Shea is going to look back to Doobie. That's the first shot on goal for the Falcons. First goal led up by the Falcons in MAC play. And Miller's going to look to Tveit, but it's going to go into open space, out of play, throw in for the Bulls. And Buffalo's going to get this ball back up, out of play. Falcon throw in. Tveit to take it. Linton's going to get it in the midfield. Linton to Miller, turned over. Buffalo's got an opportunity here. Shea, good defensive tackle there by Audrey Shea for the Falcons. Miller's gonna look back to Duvey. 1:20 left on the clock. And Duvey is most likely just gonna hold on to this. Look to Jacobs. 1 minute left in the first half.
1 minute remaining.
And Buffalo's going to get to it first. And Buffalo's now kind of with momentum. And Jandu with the free kick. 30 seconds left for Buffalo. Try to get a goal here. Jandu's kicks. Got a lot of power to it. Headed away by Jacob. And slip and fall there. Spots to Linton. Going on a run, I believe, is Rudetsky.
9, 8,
Linton's going to look to Miller. Miller's going to look to get this up. And that'll do it for the first half.
2, 1.
And Falcons and Bulls tied at 1. Falcons really dominated that first half. Bulls get one late, and we're heading to halftime tied 1-1. You listen to Bowling Green Women's Soccer right here on WBGU TV. Just give us a signal when we can.
Cochran Stadium. And quick recap of the first half. BG, a lot of time of possession, a lot of shots on goal, but Buffalo capitalizes on their lone opportunity, and we have a 1-1 ball game.
Yeah, looking at some stats here, only one shot on goal for the Bulls, and of course it's the fatal one for the Falcons as that one went in. Falcons with 6 shots on goal in the first half. 3 from Nikki Cox, 1 from Ruber, Kennedy, and Allen. Kennedy did go down with a lower body injury in the first half. Does not look like she will start the second half. We'll keep you updated on that.
All right, so 1-1 resets. 45 minutes left in this ball game. If you're BG here, what do you have to do to win?
Get the ball in the net. Make it that easy. You gotta find Nikki Cox. I think Nikki Cox has been riding the hot hand lately for the Falcons.
Thanks for stomping on my face. I mean, no, but you have a good point there. That's what they've tried to do, get Nikki Cox the ball. I mean, she's got 3 shots on goal already.
Yeah, she had that golden opportunity. Washington's play has been a little iffy today. Buffalo has been giving her a lot of space in the midfield, though, so I could see a Washington to Cox combination.
All right, well, let's get into the action here. Buffalo has the ball. Good defense, attempted defense there by Sophia Barnes. Buffalo's going to retain possession. Look inside, take it to the top of the box, have a little bit of room. Good passing, just out of the reach. And we're going to get a goal kick coming for Kathleen Duvey.
I thought you were doing play-by-play. Okay.
Duvey's going to send it out far side. Audra Shea. Pass up to the forwards. Kennedy White trying to make something happen. Buffalo's going to get the ball. Defenders, both players go down. Alexis Miller. Buffalo still has possession of the ball on the far side of the field. Looking to make something happen. Nikita Jacobs sends it out. Buffalo gets the ball back. BG's going to send the ball out again. Katie Cox, but Buffalo gets the ball out around midfield. Alexis Miller off her foot, going to give it back to Nikita Jacob, who gives it to Audrey Shea out on the far side. Shea's going to send it up looking for Mackenzie Ruber. Ruber moves around a defender, streaking down the field. Ruber in front of the net. Close call there, but good save by Emily Kelly for the Bulls. Chelsea Washington now inside the box. Looks to put it in the middle. Katie Cox. And the ball is going to roll in. Good effort there by Katie Cox to put that one in the back of the net.
You mean Nikki Cox, right?
I'm 2 for 2.
I was waiting for you to say that. Nikki Cox. Good play there by White to not let that ball get called because she was offsides. As we'll take a look at the replay. Washington got the ball, crossed it in off of a Buffalo header, went in. Nikki Cox is going to get credit with the goal on the ground. She fell down on the ground. Falcons taking 2-1 lead.
Oh, I'm going to hear about that one later for calling out the wrong name. Whew. Wow. 2 for 2, but I mean, hey, the 8 and the 9 on these jerseys, they're kind of similar.
And they're sisters.
I'm not just seeing things.
I see what you're saying. Yeah, no, you're right. And they're sisters, so it makes it harder. And Washington does get the assist, so I think I also called that.
Yeah.
I said Washington to Cox, and
yeah.
So we're
working on a good
3
combo
for
right
3.
now.
And Barnes looking to throw this ball in to Nikki Cox. Right back to Barnes.
Barnes is going to send it back to the back line. Kovar's going to send it forward. Buffalo gains possession around midfield.
Referee takes a tumble.
Nikita Jacob with the ball. Kovar. Out to Sophia Barnes. Good play there by Buffalo to keep possession of the ball.
That was number 20 in Hannah Callaghan for the Bulls.
Test forward to John Dew on the back line. Back line still has the ball. Moves the ball forward now. Alexis Miller tries to square up. Buffalo's going to keep the ball. They have an opening. Let's see if they can convert. Buffalo with a good opportunity coming here on the outside, inside the box. Crosses it across, and good defense played there by Bowling Green. Audrey Shea knocks it back out of the box. Ball still down there, so Bowling Green needs to get the ball out of there to avoid trouble. And they will. As Nikki Cox gets the ball. I can tell it's her this time because I messed it up the last time. Nikki Cox, Audrey Shea. Shea across midfield, looking for Kennedy White, but Buffalo knocks it away. Chelsea Washington finds the ball in the center of the field. Back to Kovar. Kovar, turnover. Buffalo gets the ball at midfield. Kovar, Alexis Miller. Miller to Barnes. Barnes to Kovar. Kovar to Duvey.
Buffalo doing a better job, I'd say, of pressuring the goalie this half. They didn't really pressure Duvey, and it's caused a couple turnovers for the Falcons.
Yeah, I think some changes made at halftime by Buffalo, and sort of a little partially through the first half, putting some pressure on Bowling Green, and that's something Bowling Green is used to bringing the pressure. Instead, they're receiving it this game from the Bulls. Bulls with the ball at center field. Buffalo moves the ball down towards their own end. Washington to Alexis Miller. Miller to the outside. Miller's going to send it up looking for Kennedy White. White's going to take a good route to the ball. She's going to try to put it in there, but good defense by Tess Ford for the Bulls. Knocks it away on the attempt by Kennedy White.
Kennedy White with her long legs has just outrun most defenders, especially the ones from the Bulls.
So now Bowling Green will get a corner, and Maureen Kennedy is not in to take the corner kick, so that duty will go to number 27, Alexis Miller. Sent in by Miller. And it is going to stay out of bounds, so goal kick coming here for the Bulls, as Bowling Green not able to get a chance there on the corner kick by Alexis Miller. Emily Kelly taking her time. Sends it out. Chelsea Washington puts a head on the ball. Nikki Cox tried to push it forward, but Buffalo going to send it back out to midfield. Audrey Shea will push it back forward, looking for Ruber. Good play there by Katie Cox on the far side of the box as I get snaps in the booth. Goal kick coming for Emily Kelly. Seven minutes ticked off here in the second half. Kelly sends it out. Foul's going to be called there on Katie Cox. Free kick for the Bulls. John Dew. Defended by Mackenzie Ruber. Nikki Cox. Nikita Jacob. Audrey Shea. Out to Mackenzie Ruber. Substitution coming here for Bowling Green. Katie Cox tries to get the ball back to Ruber, but Bulls defender is there.
You messed up again. And it'll be a goal kick for the Bulls. Substitution. Dolphus will come in for Alexis Miller.
To the game for the Falcons, 28, Hannah Dolphus for number 27, Alexis Miller.
I'm sad. I keep messing up.
Falcons again, 2-1 lead here, 37 minutes left in the second half. Ooh. And White just fell on top of a Buffalo player.
Both slow to get up, but we're going to keep it rolling.
And that was number 2 in Van Kuyk, the senior forward for Buffalo.
Test forward. John Doe. Test forward. Forward back to John Doe. Up, and it's going to be defended by Lena Kovar. Bulls retain possession. Out around the edge on the close near side. Dolphus forces the ball out. Buffalo throw in. Buffalo has the ball at the top of the box looking to make something happen. Buffalo's shot is high, arcing, and Duvey is going to come up with the ball right in front of the net as Buffalo was looking to capitalize on an opportunity there, but taken away by Kathleen Duvey as Bowling Green gets the ball back. Duvey sends it across midfield. Defended by the Bulls. Bulls get possession. Motion on the outside. Daly. Inside to Barbaric. Across, and it's going to go just long. Duvey could have been caught out of position there, but out of the foot of Buffalo. Ruber's going to send it back across midfield. Cox on the move. Down towards the other end of the field. Kelly's going to send the ball back out to Buffalo. Near side right in front of us is Daly. Nikita Jacob is going to be tripped up. Foul called there on Catherine Camper for the Bulls. Free kick coming. Barnes to Kovar. Kovar to Shea. Working the ball across to the far side of the field. Shea. Ruber. Moving the ball back in. Through the Buffalo defense. Look to find Hannah Dolphus. Instead, Cox with the ball. Top of the box. Buffalo defends as the ball will carry out of bounds.
You need a Washington goal, right?
I know. I'm waiting.
She's playing
on
more
it.
defensively.
I know. I'm nervous I might not get the Hattie. We've got the combined right now between Nikki Cox, Maureen Kennedy, and then the Washington Cox that you called. We've got 3, so I can be happy with that. And there's going to be a substitution coming for Bowling Green.
I love how when Bowling Green's going to make a sub, Buffalo subs just come in bunches and they'll just do it right away. We'll have a stoppage of play. Not really sure what happened.
She's got blood.
Blood on the uniform, potentially, for Sophia Barnes. So Dieselhoff will come in for Sophia Barnes.
Clock stopped right at 34 minutes left.
So the subs will come in. Buffalo sub will come in. Leah Wengender in for Caitlin Walsh. And more subs coming as well as Lindsay Spots comes into the game for Bowling Green for Nikki Cox. Got it. Yes. And one more substitution for Buffalo will be number 14 coming in, and that's Taylor Caridi. Dyselhoff looks inside. Kennedy White on the throw-in. Dyselhoff finds the ball again. Looked for Lindsay Spots. Ball short there. Taken away by Buffalo. Nikita Jacob gets the ball back to Lindsay Spots. Lindsay Spots out to Lena Kovar. Midfield. Kovar presses the ball back into the zone. Dolphus. Nikita Jacob. Chelsea Washington has it. Outside to Mackenzie Ruber. And it will be a Bowling Green throw-in.
Good job by Mackenzie Ruber to jump out of the way so the ball doesn't hit her.
Mackenzie Ruber tries to cross the ball into the center of the field. It's going to end up on the foot of Dyselhoff. Lena Kovar. Kovar looking for Kennedy White. Ball is going to be high and long. Buffalo throw-in. You know, some good news for me since Lindsay Spots checked into the game for Nikki Cox is now there's only one Cox on the field for me to have to worry about.
Yes. Meanwhile, Washington's going to get it.
Kennedy White back to Dyselhoff. Dyselhoff to Kovar. Keeps it. Looks forward to Chelsea Washington. Washington to Nikita Jacob. Jacob all the way back to Kathleen Doobie at the top of the box.
Dyselhoff kind of open on the near side.
Doobie instead, though, going to look to Mackenzie Ruber. Ball is going to be out of bounds. Throw in for Bowling Green. Ruber, Dolphus. Ball all the way back to the back line. Audrey Shea sends it forward. Looking for Dolphus again. Katie Cox. Lindsay Spots is going to be called offsides. So goal kick coming here for Emily Kelly. No, free kick coming here for the Buffalo Bulls. Bulls pass the ball out, far side, right in front of the Falcons bench. Backline has it. Jando. Lindsay Spots, good defense there to take the ball away from Buffalo. Crosses the ball back inside. But Emily Kelly will come up with the ball before Kennedy White could get to it. Bulls have the ball. Pressing across midfield. Race for the ball. Lena Kovar has the ball in the corner. Throw in for Buffalo as Kovar forces the ball out of bounds. Right now, though, we are going to get Sophia Barnes coming back into the game. Barnes will come in for Dyselhoff. Substitution for Buffalo as Catherine Camper checks out. And Van Kuyk comes in. Buffalo has the ball, trying to make something happen there. Working the ball around. Caridi across. Too much leg on that ball. Let's see if the ball carries out. It will stay in. Buffalo gets to the ball before it can go out of bounds. Crossed back inside. Lena Kovar puts a head on it. Ooh. Foul called on Buffalo. Free kick, Bowling Green. Dewey's going to come out for it. Sophia Barnes wants it down here near side. A lot of room. Dewey instead going to give it to Audrey Shea on the far side. Shea looks forward with it, looking for Kennedy White. A little long.
Almost found Spots there on an errand play though.
Kelly. Out to Van Kuyk. Looked forward to Barbaric, defended by Kovar. Caridi. Ball up in the air. Sophia Barnes looked for the ball, but smart play there to let it go out of bounds. Bowling Green throw in as Barnes gets it back to Kovar. Kovar to Duvey.
28:50 left. Falcons up 2-1.
Duvey back to Kovar. Kovar's going to play it up in the center to Dolphus. Dolphus is going to play it out to Sophia Barnes. Barnes tries to play it up to Kennedy White. That long stride. Can she get to the ball? She does get to the ball. Heavy pressure there by the defense as Kennedy White puts it back in. But the ball's going to be sent out of bounds by Buffalo. So Bowling Green throw-in coming.
Bowling Green substitution number 2, Yosmine Stoppage in the game for number 20.
Dieselhoff comes in for Ruber.
And then Barnes will switch over to the far side. That's off now on the near side.
Dieselhoff will throw in. Dieselhoff into Spots. Spots right back to her. Right back to Spots. Spots looks to make a move with the ball towards the center of the field. Out to Barnes. Barnes back inside. Kennedy White just over the top of her head as Dieselhoff chases the ball down, and it's going to go out, I believe, off a Buffalo defender. If that's the case, it would be a corner kick for Bowling Green, and that's what it will be.
And who's taking it is the question. Because Miller's not in the game and Kennedy's not in the game. No players walking over to take it. And Dieselhoff will be taking the corner.
There's still a ball. There's still a ball on the field. Good play there by the ref. Get the ball out of there.
Ref kicks out of play. It'll be a corner kick for Bowling Green.
Dieselhoff looks to send it in as some eager Falcons await. High kick. Tried to find Washington there, but Buffalo plays it out.
Good play by Sophia Barnes. Catch that ball in the air.
Barnes finds herself with the ball on the outside. Looks forward to Kennedy White. Kennedy White has a lot of space there as she looks to cross it in. Jandu with the defense. Pressure by Spots. Buffalo has the ball. Buffalo's going to keep it. Look to press forward. BG puts a foot on it. Katie Cox, Sophia Barnes.
Barnes standing still, no pressure. He'll look back to White.
Corner kick coming for Bowling Green, and they'll have another opportunity. Dieselhoff trots over to the other side this time for Bowling Green's 4th corner kick of the day.
Corner kick, Bowling Green.
2-1 lead as we're closing in on the halfway point of the second half. Dieselhoff sets up. Into the center. Chelsea Washington puts a head on the ball, and it's in there, but nice stop.
Oh, so
by
close.
Emily Kelly.
Oh, so close.
Got
to 3 for
excited.
3.
Got excited on that one. Man, that was close. Ball back inside. Washington up there, but the ball's going to carry out of bounds. Emily Kelly and the Bulls will take over.
As we had a little scoreboard malfunction. On the scoreboard, if you couldn't tell, it still said first half. Everyone in the press box got a chuckle out of that. Changed it right away.
Second half now is the Bulls trying to get something going. Out of bounds. Bowling Green throw in. Substitutions coming in here for Bowling Green.
Looks like Nikki Cox will come in for Kennedy White. And Alexis Miller will come in for Nikita Jacob. Katie Cox is out of the game, so you still only have one Cox in the game.
Dieselhoff into Spots. Spots. Looked for Washington, pass just long. Barbaric. Ball ran down by Dieselhoff to Kovar. Kovar across to Audrey Shea. Shea moves it forward to Alexis Miller. Good defense by Buffalo. Dolphus finds herself with the ball on the far side. Looks up to Sarah Allen. Sarah Allen gets a foot on the ball. Looks like they will call a foul Didn't even hear the whistle that time.
Yeah, it was probably because it was no needed for a whistle because it was an obvious foul.
So, free kick coming here for Bowling Green. Looks like Deiselhoff.
Deiselhoff and Barnes over there.
Imagine how that for a men's game when they're fouling every 5 seconds, how that would you'd be saying it, there'd be another foul.
Deiselhoff puts it in. Chelsea Washington, ooh, not able to get a complete foot on it. Emily Kelly. 23-15 remaining here in this ball game. Bowling Green leads 2-1.
Substitutions into the game for the Bulls.
Substitution for
9,
the
Yurchek
Bulls.
for number 11, Marcy Barbera. Also number 9,
Yurchek comes into the game.
Jennifer Mandarano.
And Mandarano comes into the game as well.
Zakalai.
Chelsea Washington finds the ball for Bowling Green. Alexis Miller now. Miller looking for Allen. Stops it before it gets out of bounds. Allen plays the ball inside. Barnes. Barnes looked to make something happen. Ball still in bounds. And the ball will go out. Corner kick, Bowling Green.
I don't know if you could tell, but the whole Bowling Green bench who's warming up in that back corner, pointed corner right as the ball went out.
So another opportunity coming here for
Corner
Bowling
kick,
Green.
Bowling
5th
Green.
of the afternoon. Deiselhoff. Sent in.
Gonna call a foul on someone.
Just from the reaction there, it looked like it might have been on
Washington.
Lindsay's. I was going to say Spots, but they were both pressed in there.
Foul on Cox. Free kick for Buffalo. 21:35 left in the second half.
Jandu. Ball will be with the Falcons. Deiselhoff throws it in quick. Dolphus. Buffalo takeaway. Right to Deiselhoff. Handball.
That was one of those incidental handballs, in my opinion.
Absolutely. Test forward. Jandu swap out.
Jandu's going to take her time, let the Buffalo offense set up at the top of the 18.
Nikita Jacob will check back in shortly for Bowling Green. Jandu to the center. Played out there by Audra Shea. Buffalo still has the ball, though. Buffalo crossed it back inside. Played up high. And out of bounds by Deiselhoff. Buffalo throw in. Van Kuyk. Looking for a teammate. Finds Bowers down in the corner, the Ohio State transfer. Throw in coming for Buffalo. Stoppage in play. As we get a discussion down here in the corner. And she's leaving the game as well. So here, maybe another blood situation like we had earlier with Sophia Barnes. So Caridi's going to check out of the game.
Buffalo substitution is
The head referee talking to Coach Fannin, so
Taylor Caridi.
Kara Daly comes back into the game. Daly. Wait now here for the head ref to come back into play. And it looks like Nikita Jacob will come in for Lindsay Spots.
Falcons, that means going with a more defensive-minded lineup. Now Spots a forward coming coming back for Jacobs, checking in.
20:07 here remaining on the stoppage. And now we are set, and we're playing again. Throw in by the Bulls. Dolphus gets out to Nikki Cox. Out of bounds, Bulls throw in. Test forward down here. Into the middle. Defended by Kovar. Nikita Jacob tries to get a foot on the ball. Bowers looks to make something happen. Tries to find a teammate. Audra Shea finds the ball. Battle for the ball. Sarah Allen sends it out. Buffalo finds it. Barnes to Allen. Allen back to Barnes. Looking for Cox. Carries out of bounds. Throw in coming for the Falcons. Barnes will throw in to Cox. Right back to Barnes. Barnes. Nikita Jacob finds the ball off the deflection. Allen on the run. Allen finds her way inside. Going to put the ball in front of the net. Cox tries. Allen still has the ball in the box.
Tried to find Washington at the top, but couldn't find it.
Alexis Miller. Miller's going to try left side of the net. Emily Kelly and the Bulls will take over once again. So good pressure there by Bowling Green, especially in the box. They're able to keep possession after the first misplay and have another opportunity after that. Kelly plays it out. Washington tries to keep it in the zone. Nikki Cox. Buffalo plays it out across midfield. Deiselhoff going to get it to Kovar. Kovar quickly to Miller. Miller across to Audrey Shea. Shea to Barnes. Barnes inside. Looking for Dolphus. Buffalo finds the ball right in front of the Falcon bench. Defense by Nikita Jacob on Bowers. Bowers gets it up, though, and that ball will find Kathleen Duvey. Duvey taking her time. We'll wait until pressure comes from Bowers. She'll pick it up now. Bowling Green will reset here. Duvey. Midfield. Cox with the ball. Allen now. Bowling Green has possession. Barnes. Allen. Allen trying to get around a defender. Looks for Chelsea Washington, who finds Nikita Jacob. Nikita Jacob up to Hannah Dolphus. Buffalo tries to get it out. Alexis Miller heavily defended there. Buffalo now has possession on the far side. Manorando. Ball out of bounds. Barnes will throw it in once again for the Falcons. To Cox. Barnes throws it in and will throw it in again at midfield. Looks for Allen. Allen right back to Barnes. Barnes, good footwork. Pass off to Nikita Jacob. Jacob tried to go forward with it. It's going to be off a Buffalo defender. So Barnes will throw it in yet again there right in front of her teammates on the bench.
Barnes is walking too far forward on that one.
Cox. Washington. Ooh. Tries a spin move to get around a defender. Alexis Miller. Ball up in the air, though, as it gets in the jet stream. And it does carry out of the field of play. So we're going to get a substitution coming here for the Bulls.
15:45 left in the half.
Number 15, Mairead Martin, in the game for number 20.
Mairead Martin. 15 comes in for number 20. Hannah Callaghan. Swapping senior for sophomore for the Bulls. Ball goes out of play. Dyselhoff will throw it in around midfield. Immediately looks to Chelsea Washington. Washington. Alexis Miller. Barnes had a lot of room on the outside, but pass goes back to Audra Shea. Shea looking to work it around. Now looks to Sophia Barnes, but the ball is going to carry. Saved by Sarah Allen. Barnes has the ball.
Washington calling for it in the middle.
Allen inside, and that ball is going to carry in and finds Emily Kelly in the box. Kelly. Washington finds it, puts a head on it. Ball out around midfield. Dyselhoff. Kovar. Out of the reach of Kovar. Duvey. Just going to send it out. Chelsea Washington looking for it. Cox puts a foot on it, but Buffalo gains possession. Daly. Bunch of Falcons onto the defense. Ford. Jando. Jacob. Audrey Shea gives it right back to Nikita Jacob. Chelsea Washington at midfield. Looking for Sarah Allen. Nikita Jacob finds the ball once again. They're going to call, I believe, a handball on Nikki Cox. Subs coming in again here.
Looks
shortly.
like Maureen Kennedy has gotten the clear to play, so she'll be checking. She'll be checking in for Kovar.
She's got some wrap there on the right knee.
And Falcon throw and Falcon subs.
Ruber will come back into the game for Dyselhoff as Barnes comes across to the other side. And Maureen Kennedy will come back into the game for Lena Kovar. Her senior day, going to come back out. Knee wrapped and all. Barnes. In, looking for Washington. Washington looks out to Audrey Shea on the back line. Ruber. Shea. Audrey Shea works the ball up, finds Cox. Cox makes a move with the ball.
Smart play there by Nikki Cox. Slow the play down.
Audrey Shea.
And Buffalo is going to make 6 substitutions coming in.
This should be fun.
This would be fun.
Maureen Kennedy.
On that right foot.
Looked for Sophia Barnes, but the ball long. Buffalo throw in after the
6 subs.
near entirety of the bench comes in for the Bulls. It was a lot of them, we'll tell you that much. Bulls, after a mass substitution, will throw in.
Cox.
Barnes looks to press inside, gets the ball in the box, puts it in front of the net. Good stop there by Kelly. Throw in coming by Mackenzie Ruber for the Falcons. Ruber gets the ball immediately, played right back to her. Looks to find a little bit of space, gives it to Nikita Jacob. Ball coming inside. Sarah Allen finds it. Cox tries to put a shot on the net. Ball still in the box. It's going to be corralled there by Emily Kelly. So heavy pressure by Bowling Green. Kelly able to come away with a stop. Buffalo Near side. Foul call.
Saying Buffalo numbers. 11, 14, 22, 14.
Stoppage in play. As Barnes needs a shoe tie.
Do you by chance have the last 6 Buffalo subs? Seriously. All right, let's give me some numbers. 2. Anyone? 5. 14, 22.
All right, so we're going to reset here. 10:25 to play. Clock still stopped. A lot of stoppage in play this half.
Yes.
1 versus 2. Do you have 2? 20. Have 2.
Chandu.
20, 22.
Buffalo plays it inside. Going to be played out quickly by the Falcons. Nikki Cox tries to find the ball. Buffalo still has it. Barbaric. Caridi, who had to go out earlier. Shot on net. But Doobie comes away with it. Doobie still has the ball. Waiting for something to develop. Sends it out to midfield. Played there by Dolphus. Allen with the ball. Ruber up to Cox. Cox presses the ball inside, looking for Washington at the top of the box. Washington's going to have to press it back out, though, to Sophia Barnes.
Nice play by Chelsea Washington.
Oof, right through the legs of Alexis Miller as Buffalo looks to mount a run here. A lot of space, a lot of room to move the ball. Good defense there, but both players go down. And ball is going to change hands.
9 minutes left.
It is with the Falcons. Falcons do lead 2-1 over the Bulls. Doobie. Doobie sends the ball off. Dolphus. Foul called. Possession changes hands yet again. As time ticks down, 8:40 to play in the ball game.
8:22. Behind.
Yep. 8:20. Washington with the ball for the Falcons. Presses it up to Cox.
Cox
A lot
may
of room.
look to just dribble this to the corner.
Just going to send it in there to Kelly. Buffalo fans upset. Buffalo has the ball. Cox is going to play it back. Foul called. Falcons will get a free kick coming on the offensive side of the field. Barnes. Kennedy. Kennedy will send the ball in on the free kick. Buffalo, coming off of the BG free kick, has possession briefly. Alexis Miller going to play it out. Buffalo throw in.
Clock will stop at if there's a substitution 5 minutes or below, there will be subs.
Kennedy White coming back into the game.
Kennedy White for number 12.
Ruber.
Looks to Kennedy. Washington's got space in the middle if you can find her. And she looks right to her, but it's going to be taken away.
Good cutoff right there by Caridi. Buffalo looks to play it on the far side. Deflected out there by Dolphus. Buffalo throw in. Played forward by Alexis Miller. Cox with the ball. A little bit of space. A lot of space.
She has Washington streaking on the far side.
Gonna look to her.
Oh.
Ooh, defended. Nice defense there by Tess Ford. Jacob. Ruber.
We're just going to turn on the Jets.
Washington trying to sneak in behind the defense on this side of the field.
Yeah, on the near side.
Looking for that senior day goal, potentially.
You just want it because you can get the 3 for 3 then.
Kelly plays it out. Dolphus. Miller. Miller's going to go try to get around the defender, and that ball is going to carry out. Buffalo throw in.
That's our last game we're allowed to play.
Free kick.
And we've hit the 5-minute mark.
Ruber. Good defense there by Ruber. Kennedy White's going to try to run the ball down. Buffalo will keep possession. Caridi. Barbaric. Played into the corner. Looking for Van Kuyk, who's going to send the ball into the middle. And it's gonna
Diving save
by Duvey. Nice job by Kathleen Duvey to recover after thinking the ball was going to go one way, making the adjustment, coming back across to make the deflection. Nice job by Kathleen Duvey, the senior.
Ruber's going to clear this up. 1-on-1 is White and Jandu, and that's going to be a foul.
Yeah. Most definitely a foul on that one. Buffalo now. Van Kuyk down here at the bottom, a lot of room to work. The ball comes back across midfield. Van Kuyk into the center where Maureen Kennedy finds herself with the ball after Miller plays it back to her. Kennedy. Look up to Kennedy White. Clock stoppage here yet again. As we try to figure out what happens. A lot of confusion up in the press box. Discussion here. Bowling green ball. They'll send it all the way back to Emily Kelly.
Not sure of what just happened.
Jandu. Bowling green substitutions coming here in a minute. Subs will come in. Clock stoppage.
3:26.
Cox will come in for Dolphus, and Dieselhoff will come in for Ruber as Barnes goes back across to the far side of the field. So both Coxes back on the field. Dieselhoff looks to throw in. Finds Cox. Buffalo with the ball. Trying to knot this thing up before the end of the game. Barbaric.
Good play, Maureen Kennedy.
Good defense there by Maureen Kennedy indeed. Force the ball out. Throw in for Buffalo. Caridi. Barbaric. Nikita Jacob with the defense.
Not enough oomph on that pass.
Tess Ford. Inside. BG trying to play it out of the center there. Chelsea Washington has the ball on the far side.
Looks up to White. Smart play there by Chelsea Washington.
White tries to make a move. Ball's going to go out of bounds, but it will stay with the Falcons. Throw in coming here.
Sophie Barnes going to take her time. Wouldn't be surprised if the ref says stop the clock.
Barnes, indeed, taking her time. Throws it into White.
Oh, Bowling Green throw. That's going to waste another 20 seconds.
A lot of time coming off the clock here as Barnes gets the ball back to reset from another throw-in. Buffalo plays it, trying to get it back to midfield. Goes over the foot of Alexis Miller. Shea tries to play it back out. Nikita Jacob finds herself with the ball, looking to make a move around the defender. Chelsea Washington has the ball now. Look forward to Kennedy White, the height of Kennedy White. See if she can get around her defender. But BG still with the ball. Cox on the run, down towards the ball.
And Cox just going to look to take it to the corner, and that's what she's doing. Good job by Katie Cox. Draws the foul.
Foul
Very
call.
good job by Katie Cox.
Absolutely.
That'll get the clock down to at least a minute left. Minute 32 right now on the clock.
As we have another shoe tie.
They're going to stop the clock.
Clock stoppage as BG sets up here for the free kick. Diceloff and Kennedy.
Smart play. They're just going to put the ball in the corner here, play it around.
Nikita Jacob.
And Jacob tried to play a fancy play there. Minute 15 left for Buffalo. Jandu's going to get this ball up right to
Miller.
Miller's going to look up to Washington off the head of Jandu.
We'll go out of bounds. Bowling Green throw in here. 60 seconds remaining in this ball game.
1 minute remaining.
Diceloff into Cox. Diceloff.
Turned over.
Turnover. Nikita Jacob tries to keep possession of it for Bowling Green. Cox with the ball. Diceloff.
Ooh.
Foul's going to be called on Buffalo. Bowling Green taking their time here. Time continues to wind off the clock. 30 seconds remaining. Jacob over to Washington. Washington inside. Foul on Bowling Green. 20 seconds left in the game. Stop. Clock stoppage.
Jandu's going to look to get this ball up. Headed right to Jacobs as Jacobs kicks this ball deep, and that's going to do it with 10 seconds left. Bowling Green's going to come away with the victory, 2-1. Falcons pick up the win, move to 2-0-0 in conference play. Buffalo falls to 1-1-0 in conference play. Again, Falcons pick up the victory, 2-1. This broadcast has been a presentation of Bowling Green Athletics. For more Bowling Green Athletics information and more schedules, go to BGSUFalcons.com. This has also been a presentation of the Bowling Green Radio Sports Organization. For up-to-date broadcast information bios, go ahead and visit our new website, bgfalconmedia.com. For the final score, again, 2-1 Falcons win against the visiting Buffalo Bulls to move 2-0-0. This has also been a presentation by WBGU-TV.